broadcast with a news alert coming in. Iranian nuclear scientist Mohsen Fakhrizadeh has been assassinated east of Tehran. Fakhrizadeh was widely known as the father of Iran's nuclear program. Fakhrizadeh headed Iran's nuclear weapons project and was also a senior officer in Iran's Revolutionary Guards Corps. Iranian state broadcaster IRIB has confirmed the development. According to reports, Iran's Revolutionary Guards commander has also promised to avenge the killing of the country's top nuclear scientist. For more details, let's quickly go across to Amichai Stein, a diplomatic correspondent who's joining us live from Jerusalem at this hour. Amichai, Iranian news outlets, including the state broadcaster IRIB, are saying that Fakhrizadeh has been assassinated. What is the latest that you're picking?
So exactly like you said, all media outlets in Iran are confirming that Mohammad Fakhrizadeh, who is called the father of the Iranian nuclear bomb, has been assassinated eastern of Tehran. We know that he was some kind of explosive device was exploded next to his car, and then he was shot supposedly with his bodyguard in the scene. Now, Iranian media are not saying he was killed. They say he was assassinated. So we are still waiting for an official confirmation that he has died. But we do know there was an assassination against him. And let's say he's really the most top official in the Iranian nuclear program you can think of. Even at Prime Minister Netanyahu, when he unveiled 2 years ago the Iranian nuclear archive, which showed really the Iranian nuclear program, mentioned his name as the main figure in this atomic research and development in Iran regarding the nuclear bomb. So it's a very big news, this story, this assassination, and like you said, all media outlets in Iran are confirming it.
Right. Amichai, Iran's Revolutionary Guards commander has said that they will avenge the killings of the scientists. What sort of international escalation are we currently looking at?
So we heard this kind of threat in the past after other scientists were assassinated. So it's not new. Every attack against an Iranian nuclear facility that is alleged to be done by Israel or by the US, or a killing of Iranian nuclear scientists that is alleged by these countries, we are hearing threats from Iranian officials that they will avenge his death. So what we can expect, I think, in the next few days, maybe it's a much more high security in Israel. For example, delegations abroad. We are used to it from the past. That has happened in the past. So because the Iranians are blaming or will blame Israel in such kind of assassination, probably there will be heightened security in Israel facilities around the world and Jewish centers. And again, we hear this threat. It's not something new, but this is a big loss for the Iranian nuclear program. And I must say it comes near in the last 2 months of Trump administration, when there was a lot of talk that maybe Israel and the US are planning some kinds of maybe new actions against the program. Now, we don't know who conducted this assassination. In Israel, of course, there's silence also in the US. But again, there was a lot of talk recently that the US and Israel are planning, let's say, new things to target the Iranian nuclear program.
This is a huge assassination that we are looking at for a man who was known as the father of Iran's nuclear program. Amichai, how significant was Fakhrizadeh to Iran's nuclear program?
He is a part of the program, one of the fathers since the early 2000s. He was the head of the Ahmad program, which was the program that Iran that was called the Iranian Development for a Nuclear Bomb. And so he was the head of this, and he was the head of the nuclear facility in Turkuzabad that Israel unveiled 2 years ago, where the IAEA inspectors found some kind of nuclear material, and still Iran hasn't given answers. So he's really a top figure, and it's a huge loss for this program. And the question is, how many more assassinations like this we will see in the coming months ahead of Biden being entering the White House, because Israel and the US wants to close up things and hurt the Iranian program. Again, we don't know who did it. I'm saying Israel and the US because we know Iran usually blames them. But it's interesting to see how these developments really will implicate the Iranian program.
The implications, of course, is what I'm going to discuss with you right now, because it's interesting that this has happened at a time when President-elect Joe Biden is all set to take over the reins in the United States. You mentioned United States and you mentioned Israel. Now, what could be the possible reasons behind his assassination? Of course, this is an analysis at the moment currently, but what could be the possible reasons, Amit Shai?
Again, we don't know what is the reason, but we know he is a top official, and we know his assassination will damage the program and hurt it from being development. So, again, we don't know why now. We know he survived an assassination a few years ago. This is known already, but again, we don't know why the reason they decided to do it right now.
At the same time, Amit Shai, it's important to talk about how the nuclear program has always been a huge, of course, Iran's nuclear program has been a huge sort of bone of contention for Israel and the United States as well.
Yes, so the Iranian program is something that the Trump administration and the Israel administration really wants to hurt and don't want to allow them to progress. And again, when there is talk that maybe when Biden goes into the White House, he would like to renew some kind of a nuclear deal. We don't know exactly what happened, and it seems maybe this is the time to try and put the facts on the ground, meaning hurt the program as much as Israel and the US can, and maybe put more sanction on Iran. This is a story right now, really making facts on the ground before Biden goes into the White House. But again, we don't know who did it. I'm saying Israel and the US because the usual suspects, Iran usually blames Israel and the US. But again, it might be an internal thing or something else again.
Right. You know, Fakhrizadeh was someone who was also talked about by the Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu himself. Having said that, Amit Shai, how crucial has the nuclear program, as far as Iran's nuclear program is concerned, been for Israel and, of course, the Israeli Prime Minister himself? All right, we just seem to have had some technical glitch, but here are reports coming in that Mohsen Fakhrizadeh has been assassinated east of Tehran. Fakhrizadeh was widely known as the father of Iran's nuclear program. He headed Iran's nuclear weapons project and was also a senior officer in Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps. According to reports, Iran's Revolutionary Guard's commander has promised to avenge the killing of the country's top nuclear scientist. The Iranian state broadcaster IRIB has confirmed the development, and this indeed is going to be a huge development which could lead to further international escalation. The scientist reportedly was assassinated east of Tehran. The Iranian state broadcaster IRIB has confirmed the development. It's important to take you through what Fakhrizadeh meant to the nuclear program of Iran. Iranian top nuclear scientist. He was the man who was described as the father of the Iranian bomb. And that's reason enough for Iran Revolutionary Guards commander to be swearing the avenging of the killing of the scientist. These are the latest visuals that we are bringing to you of the assassination that has taken place east of Tehran of Mohsen Fakhrizadeh, the top Iranian nuclear scientist. What happens now? Will there be an official confirmation coming in from Iran? We should expect one. However, there's just silence at the moment, but these are the latest reports that we are bringing to you coming straight from Iran. And following Iran's US official statement, we can expect a statement coming in from the United States and Israel.